Mr. Shab, sorry for your loss.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Bapaverse.
We're spending your life.
Apparently, there's a bit of a feud going on. Little feud, little spark here and there. And it has to do with Jesse on Fire and the guys from Morning Combat, Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell, BC. Let me take you to that post. Jesse on Fire, talking silly about our CEO, issues a challenge to bully him instead of see how that goes for you.
Of his co-host, whatever his name is, over and over and over referencing that he is one of these like Brendan Schaub hater group guys. Let me just play a little bit of this for you.
Chauvinese has become our part of our lives. Everyone, it's what it is, Luke. Okay.
I mean, that's partly true.
Who gets this obsessed with making fun of a person that they don't know? I don't understand it, dude. I've never understood this phenomenon ever. I just want to show you like how much this guy does this.
Comments at all? But
correction, they do know Brendan Schaub personally.
Creator. Also, shout out to my boys, Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell.
Luke Thomas knows him way better than probably you'd know him. I know you defend him because he gave you that Thick Boy Award there. Look at that prize there. The Thick Boy Studios Award 2022. Huh? I mean, it looks so golden and shiny and prestigious, right?
did you see there was a comment on?
Every time
You're always texting me like, how's socials? I'm like, dude, I don't really tweet stuff out.
I've never texted you that.
They should improve their relationship with former heavyweight Brendan Schaub too. A lot of back and forth, Luke. I don't like it.
All right, what are we doing here? You
Yeah.
couldn't wait to put this in here, huh?
I mean, are you getting lip injections, Luke, like some comedians these days?
Again, once
No,
again,
right?
you're Brendan Schaub's #1 fan.
Dude, agree.
No, it's I love Brendan Schaub. I'm just simply pointing out like this.
Janae.
Luke Thomas never partakes in this, by the way, that I can tell. It's all his co-host.
Oh, let me finish reading here. Turnover page for more instructions.
Will you stop? I mean, just stop.
This is a podcast that only talks about the podcast, okay? The podcast that only talks about
Like this.
Here.
This is a podcast that only talks about
Look, he's right about that. BC does most of the hazing, most of the jokes, the skits and the bits. We love them.
the podcast, okay?
Who are you gonna see?
I forgot the fella's name. He's like a real comic though. Okay, you'd be surprised, bro. I mean, seriously.
Okay, so that's 54 seconds. This goes on for another 3 minutes of just, his co-host just ripping Schaub. Like, this is the whole thing, dude. I'm buddies with Schaub, but it's not even relevant. It's like,
It's not even relevant, he says. The guy that's been on the Fight Companion and also got a little award from Brendan. Just because Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell had already won a reward previously, Brendan said, hey, you already won an award. I'm just going to give this to Jesse on Fire for being the second best. Here's Brendan saying that.
So my MMA creator. Also, shout out to my boys, Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell. They did win the MMA award, the official award. This is official to you bastards. This is official, but they won. I'm so proud of those guys. Me and Luke Thomas go way, way back. There's nobody that I'm closer to in MMA than Luke Thomas. I absolutely adore the guy. He's so goddamn smart. His knowledge on MMA, when he breaks it down, there's none better. He's so good. I love Luke Thomas. Luke, you're bigger than me. You're not getting the award. You're not getting the award. You have the award in my heart, okay? But as far as hardware goes, and the next up-and-comer, he's going to be right there with you guys, is my boy Jesse on Fire.
dude. Okay. When I was in high school, there were always like these like rando people who ended up being like the butt of every joke. Like it was like they were at the absolute bottom of the social hierarchy where everyone could bully them, right? Like anyone had license to steal on this guy. Oh, you know what I mean? Like there was a guy in my high school, there's a guy in my middle school, just like that, a couple of them. I never partook in that stuff, dude. Never. I always would actually go out of my way to be nice to them, to the point that it actually became a problem because they'd be like, oh my God, and they'd want to hang out all the time. I'm like, dude, relax, man. I just want you to know I'm not on board with this shit. When I was in a fraternity, I never hazed pledges ever. Never. Not once, dude. I never partook in it ever. Not one time. I don't get down with that shit. I don't want to fuck with inferior opposition. I don't understand it.
Did he just call Brendan inferior? Cause I mean, I get he's saying I'm no bully. You should give Brendan a definition on what's bullying, cause clearly he still doesn't know. Maybe he already figured out. Maybe Jesse kind of cleared up the whole bullying, what it means.
Hey, will you clear bullying meaning? Define bullying for me.
Maybe this is kind of bullying. Maybe this is online bullying. I don't think it's bullying. I think it's just a little bit of hazing. It's
Chabanese has become our part of our lives. Everyone, it's what it is, Luke. Okay.
you know, we all tease them, right? But it's all kind of, you know, it's all within fairness. It's not like if you watch Brendan's show, The Fighter and the Kid, and he doesn't do that to other people. He definitely does that to other people. But apparently, you know, we can't make fun of comedians. Only they can make fun of us.
You know, you want conflict with me? Send me someone who is a worthy adversary. And all this shit looks like to me, I've said this a million times, is like you're telling me that this dude, not him. You're telling me that
you know, looking forward to that.
You're telling me
I don't even know what does that mean?
For safety purposes.
You're telling me this guy was like, you know, Mr. Cool, like he's always top of the food chain socially, you know, growing up, you know, whatever. Because all this looks like to me is this anonymous, you know, bully crew. That's all it looks like to me. Is like, we're going to jump on this guy any chance we get. It's like, and listen, dude, fucking with people is kind of funny.
Is it anonymous or unanimous? Because it's not anonymous because we know who it is. It's BC who's making fun of him. Aaron Hawani's making fun of him. Any other podcasters making fun of him. They point a couple of references here and there.
But to be this heavy on it, it's like, who the fuck, dude? You're a fucking nerd, bro. Okay? Let me just break this to you. You making fun of him? Dude, you're not like in the cool crew now because you're making memes about a dude who would beat the fucking shit out of you in 1 second. You're a fucking nerd, dude. Okay?
Oh, a nerd. Says the guy with a plastic golden chain and a cartoon of yourself looking all buff and jacked and way better looking than you actually look like right now, and with more hair. But yeah, other people, BC's a nerd, Luke's a nerd because they like to make fun of Brendan. Yeah, sure. Label them nerds. But what are you? Some tough guy, some real tough guy. Yeah, I have a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I can beat people up. That means you cannot make fun of me because I will crush you.
Did you guys have troll defenders?
No.
Trolls were for girls, and then they had action figures. Or stone defenders.
What?
Oh, I like troll defenders. I wish I had a troll defender that just beat up the Reddit guys. Oh, I like troll defenders. I wish I had a troll defender that just beat up the Reddit guys.
You're not cool. You're not on the bully team. Okay? The guys who could really bully people don't. Okay? The guys who could really bully people don't do it. They don't do it. Because why? Why would they have to do that? What the fuck what do I get out of bullying someone that a bunch of other people are bullying? What do I get out of that? You think I need that to feel like I'm fucking tough? I don't, dude. I don't. I'll bully you because you look like a chubby fucking sorry ass.
So today is the day he's gonna finally start bullying. Never did it in elementary, middle school, high school, college, but today's the day.
I'll bully you. Just being mean for no fucking reason. Has Shab ever said anything about you? Does he even fucking know who you are? I mean, I'm sure he knows who you are.
I love Luke Thomas.
But like, he's never done a single fucking thing to you. Nothing. He's never said a word about you. Not one word. And you think about him that much, you're fucking bringing it like, oh my God, look at this Shab mean. You look fucking pathetic to me, dude. Why don't you pick on me, dude? I'd be a good adversary. Why don't you try that shit with me, motherfucker? I'll make you my hobby. I'll your mouth every single day on here, dude. You know, look, I could be a much more worthy adversary, dude. I don't have a million people coming at me. You come at me, we could do this.
Like nobody was even talking about you, Jesse. But you put yourself in that target. And the whole subreddit is coming after you. You know, sort of. You know, they don't care much about you. They don't really care much. They care more about Brandon. But you are now in the Bapaverse, which they will somewhat give you, they're gonna give you a little bit of the spotlight here and there. And this one was definitely a funny one. I mean, even the end when he said he was gonna F him in the mouth is just kind of crazy. And yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it's very unhinged, very out of pocket in the end there with that.
Your mouth every single day on here, dude.
The subreddit gave their response to Jesse on Fire for making fun of their CEO or co-CEO, BC. Here's this post, BC CEO Chad. Here's Jesse on Fire. I'm going to read Jesse on Fire's list of things that they kind of put him in a nutshell, like kind of describes him. Allegedly married a 15-year-old. Woof, I've seen a clip of that one. That one's kind of hard.
Grooming. If I met Gabrielle when she was 15, thank you. If I was not legal, right? If I was 25 and I met Gabrielle when she was 15, she would be my wife still, and I would have no fucking shame in that. People would be all, "You groomed her." I'd be like, "Yeah, cool, good point."
Fake boy participation medal winner eats corn the long way. Fucking with people is kind of funny. He think he matters, and that one was kind of like gonna be a foreshadowing for later, because Luke responds to Jesse on Fire and basically tells him the same thing, like, you don't matter, you're not in my orbit.
And I need them to understand something, and I'm honestly not even trying to be mean. I don't care about you.
They do not matter. What do you care? It'd be the same as if a cat created a profile.
Here's the CEO, Brian Campbell's list. CEO of a successful dining establishment. Homeless. Knows he does not matter. But a beast of a dad. He just goes. Exactly right. He just goes, B. I mean, it clearly just shows, like, who they like and who they don't like in this subreddit. And it's obviously Jesse on Fire.
Mr. Shab.
All right, now we get to Luke Thomas's response to Jesse on Fire. Here is Luke Thomas with his response.
There are a few of these guys of this type where, first of all, they have titles. They don't use their real names. I can think of 3 of them, but there's some other ones as well. You know, and of course, some of the largest creators do that as well. But I just sort of mean, like, they are up front telling you that they're not interested in being sort of seen as serious people. But the bigger point is this: it's like there's a certain.
Well, let's name a couple of them, right? We got the Schmo, MMA Guru. Who else? Mexican martial arts, right? MMA holes. There's a couple of them.
Version of just internet loser that appears to be very concerned with what I have to say about things in ways that surprises me. And I need them to understand something, and I'm honestly not even trying to be mean. I don't care about you. Any of you.
You don't matter, B. None of you matter.
Like, they care deeply what I have to say. I don't care about anything you say. I don't care about your opinions on anything. I don't care about content you make. I don't care what you have. Like, they use my content. I'm not going to put down copyright strikes on them. I don't give a fuck. I don't, in any part of my day, ever think it's a useful version of my time to hear anything that they have to say, literally about anything, including and especially me. Like, why would I, dude? A bare minimum of investigation into what, he's not alone. There's other ones like him, but a bare minimum of investigation into them. These are people, they are loud for the sake of being loud. They are not interesting. They're not bright. They're not well read. There's nothing interesting about them. Why the fuck would I care? Dude, say what the fuck you want to say. I don't give a shit. I don't care at all. You never see me bring them up. I don't give a shit. This dude just,
I mean, like, Jesse on Fire was like defending Brendan because of BC mostly, right? BC, I don't think has said anything yet except for kind of make fun of him for a bit. Luke obviously seems a little like annoyed about Jesse on Fire talking shit about them.
Jesse on Fire, he follows me on Twitter. I don't follow him. I don't care at all. You never see me bring them up. I don't give a shit. This dude, Jesse on Fire, he follows me on Twitter. I don't follow him. He hit me up about
so he does know them, right? Just he said, I don't know them. I don't know them. But you follow Luke on Twitter. You probably follow him on Instagram. Maybe you subscribe to him on YouTube, right? But it's this kind of thing where like, yeah. It's like, you know, Brandon, what he says. Great guy, never met him.
a year ago to collab on a video. I didn't hit him up. Right? I don't care about you. I don't care. You utterly meaningless in my life and useful ways in which I want to spend my time. And of course, everyone's trying to do this bit where it's like, and this will get used too, like, oh, you care, you're doing this thing. I care enough to answer this question. Okay. And then I don't want to talk about it anymore because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about any of you.
Oh, maybe this is why Jesse went kind of hard on Morning Combat, saying he's gonna bully them and, you know, put your sights on me because I'll do something about it, right? I'm finally gonna be the bully, right? Which is the thing he said. Like, I have never bullied anybody, but today's the day that I do it.
Guys, zip. That you can't even use you don't even use your names. You give you guys there's chat board screen names. What are you, fucking 40? Like, what are you doing? Okay. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about your channels. I don't give a fuck about your opinions. They're profoundly stupid and not worth my time. Actually, you know what's funny? The joke is really, it's on me, but it's on them and they don't even realize it. Like, it's on me. Here's what I mean. Like, here's how, getting back to the conversation about like, I've reached certain things, but I'm not where I want to be. Here's how you know I have underachieved. Look at the level of my antagonist. Just the most pathetic version you've ever seen. Like, that is the person that thinks that like we're peers enough to have these like like, what the fuck? Like, nothing is like the saddest shit, the biggest critique you can make.
Hey Luke, you YouTuber? I think that's probably another reason why Jesse on Fire probably like wants him on his show, because he's like, hey, you do YouTube, I do YouTube, let's do a collab.
You're a YouTuber. Are you a vlogger?
No, not at all. No.
You do YouTube?
You know, try.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
But Lucas also, you know, he works for Showtime, and he shows up on ESPN. So he thinks he's much bigger than he actually think he is, right? Or maybe I guess like number wise, like subscribers for his own channel, Luke is at almost about 200K, but Jesse on Fire, I saw his and he's like 100K, right? Look at his, he's like 116, so he's quite big himself. In the YouTube world, you know, but also, you know, Jesse on Fire is not on Showtime. He's not gonna pop up on any major broadcasting sports like MMA to commentate or do any kind of interviews. He's not that type of guy. I don't think he's as professional as Luke Thomas is. And Luke Thomas thinks he's at the level where he is professional and he can, you know, bring in the fire and be also entertaining and also be informative with MMA, unlike other people that he thinks they're lower than him, which could be all, you know, possibility or also true on his part. You know, he's also kind of like saying, wow, I kind of thought I was bigger than I was, but not really, because this guy's trying to collab with me.
Make of my career is that these kinds of people are the people who think that they're my antagonist. Like, oh my fucking God. Do you know what like an underachiever you have to be for that to be the situation? At least I'm honest about it with you, right? Like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I get that. Like, that is my fucking antagonist. Like, when Chael made a video about me, I responded to Chael, right? That's a worthy adversary. Like, what these fucks? Like, you just got to be kidding me, bro. You just got to be kidding me. I cannot believe these fucking mongrels think that we are peers. Like,
these mongrels, man. Ooh, that one's gotta burn.
God. Oh my God. So I don't give a fuck. Say what you want to say, dude. It doesn't change anything about my life. None of it is interesting. Like, it's proximity to the truth. Here's how confident I am, and I'll end on this one. I encourage anyone in my audience to please go hear what they have to say, and this gentleman and some other ones as well. And if in the end, like, that content is better for you, I encourage you to go. I encourage you. We don't have the same audience. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, like, the kind of audience that I want would, like, they're not interested in antagonists of this level. Oh my God, dude. It's so fucking embarrassing that I have to be like, these are the people coming after you. Oh my God, dude. People that look like they've been tasered on the side of the highway in North Florida. Another one who looks like a skin tag that someone fucking super glued pubic hair to. I mean, we are just talking about fucking garbage pail kids coming after you with loud opinions, utterly centered on nothing. Like, what do I think about it? I don't.
Oh man, they don't matter, B. Luke Thomas says y'all don't matter.
They do not matter.
Y'all aren't on his level, okay? Don't be hitting up his DMs for any collab, all right? Sick of y'all. And I think he's also speaking for BC, but I don't know. Because BC's the kind of the main one who talks a lot of stuff about Brendan. Let's look at the comments here, because I'm sure they're going to probably investigate who's the guy. Here's the Big Green says, Luke calling him a mongrel was unbelievably satisfying. That was a good one. Homeless Cat 55567 says, tasered on the side of the highway in North Florida is what did it for me, B. Lost Evidence 2099 says, a skin tag with hair glued on, literal garbage pail kids. That, I'm sure, was for Jesse on Fire. I mean, the guy looks like, if Captain America failed the super soldier serum and winded up looking like Jesse on Fire. So, I mean, it's obvious that Luke does not care about these guys, or he doesn't really want to entertain these guys on whatever they think is going on. I also have another one with BC giving his take or his response on the Methy or Jesse. The subreddit is calling Jesse Methy because they say he looks like he's on meth. Here's this one. The CEO wants to do some skits and bits on Methy to drama, but Luke begs to differ, says less. Here we go.
There was some explosions on the Reddit sphere, Luke. Nuke Thomas apparently arrived and said,
"Can we just not talk about this bullshit, please?"
It got very methy yesterday, Luke, and it was, you were just like Rambo, but there you go, Luke. Maybe we'll just move on with our lives, all right?
Let's just move on with our lives.
Yeah, thank you very much for you. Oh my.
So that Luke just has had enough of that. But I'm sure Brian, he's relentless with the skits and the bits, so he ain't gonna be stopping. And BC don't care either. He knows that Jesse on Fire ain't gonna do nothing. Let's be honest here. And Luke Thomas is very much in contact with Brendan. I think today I was watching the podcast. You said he was going to talk to him later on. So he doesn't really care about that, right? I don't think he cares about that.
Mr. Shab.
All right, guys. Last one. We got this update from the Fighter and the Kid subreddit about the whole BGL, Mark Harley, his claim.
It's rewind time.
We're not paying Mark, but Mark decided to drop this. Brendan is also now claiming CAA, that's his agency, has stolen $1.4 million from him. And if he doesn't get the money back, he will not be able to pay his employees in the next 4 months. Possibly 3, since it's been a few weeks since I was given this info from a highly credible source familiar with his finances.
Mark Harley said that Brendan owed him money, and so he made claims, pretty much kind of sued Brendan for not paying up what he was owed, his wages. And so we got an update on it. And here is the update from this guy. The guy that posted it. Murder Alaska 2 days ago said TFATK's podcast network Kast Media might be going bust. Mark Harley also emailed me a copy of his wage claim. The end might be close. So here it is. Just so we're all on the same page, the recent post Kast Media may be a prom by you on / dust with flour made me check to see if the TFATK really is a Kast Media property, and it is for sure. So Kast Media owns the TFATK podcast. The story with Kast Media is that Jim Cornette, a huge wrestling podcaster, just released an episode about how Kast was selling his ads and was doing so on a commission basis, and recently stopped forwarding payments for the ads. Cornette and his sidekick Brian last revealed that they are suing Kast Media and that they worry about the other podcasts that are actually owned wholly or in part by Kast. I think TFATK might be owned in part by Kast, so even more affected than Cornette. So Cornette just gives Kast Media ads so they can sell, right? Also on the Cornette pod, Brian last said Kast stopped paying them late last year. Mark Harley, according to his wage claim, was fired in January. It seems like this might line up in terms of a timeline for when money started getting tight for Thick Boy Studios. Brian last said that Kast Media's excuse was industry conditions, which has also been the excuse of Wondery when they dropped Tiger Belly, which is subject of another lawsuit. There are numbers of indications that the podcast bubble is bursting, which only makes this even more of a problem for Brendan and Rinks. Prom. Oh, I guess that's a shopism for problem. I was like, prom? Okay, also in the thread yesterday where someone uncovered BGL's wage claim investigations online, you / hello Mark Harley replied to me and offered to email the actual complaints. I've taken a look at them, and they are consistent with that Mark has said on the subreddit about how his pay was randomly docked and how he was always on call and managing social media in addition to driving Brendan to gigs and being basically Brendan's bagman. Okay, so it was just not only the social media thing, but also carrying his bags and driving Brendan around. Quite interesting. Should be, deserves to get paid for that. That's just not for free. Maybe Brendan thinks it was just a homie hookup, but Mark begs to differ.
Well, your Navy hat would beg to differ.
Yeah.
He just said beg the differ.
I know.
Way.
I just come on.
It's beg to differ.
Beg the differ. Where it looks like Brendan really screwed up in terms of Mark's employment is that he didn't keep any sort of time records for hours worked and no tracking of overtime or meal breaks, despite Mark nominally being an hourly wage employee. Mark's complaint recalls all of this with screenshots showing that he was not compensated for overtime, mileage, being on call, and on and on. There's all sorts of potential penalties that Thick Boy could be on the hook for, in addition to back pay. Wow. So here are the complaints that Mark Harley sent. Here's a proof that Mark Harley sent that he wasn't lying about the California investigations. Wage claim search. Here's three claims. I guess it was from Mark Harley, maybe also other people too also put in a wage claim. Here's the defendant name, Tiger Thick LLC. Defendant, the case number, I don't know what that is. It's at the distillery, that's his whiskey brand. The date filed on the 4th of 19th, so it's kind of all in the same day, the next day after. Diane Steele, assigned deputy, DIR office, case under investigation as of 2023. what month are we in? Since July. So July, and then it's gonna be August. So it's gonna be now another 3 or 4 months of still being investigated. Okay, another one, Thick Boy Productions, and then Thick Boy Studios. So they're all in different. They're all different companies under the same person, I assume. Possibly Brendan and his father. A lot of people say his dad is also a co-owner, so he also funds Brendan's projects and whatnot. So it seems like BGL was not lying about making claims or pursuing this in court. So it's getting quite dicey for Brendan. It's also the Kast Media as well. It seems like maybe they're not paying Brendan what he was getting paid before, as I read that previously that he did not get paid. Presumably he's not getting paid by Kast Media, who owns him. Cornette says that they are worried about other podcasts. I'm gonna show you the clip of Jim, Cornette, and Brian talking about the lawsuit on their podcast.
We're picky about what we do and our programs, and that's why that we do everything ourselves or in-house. Unlike many other podcasts, programs, whatever, we're not with a network. And we own all of our content, and we are our own producers, and we decide what we say and talk about and what we don't. And even our editing and our administrative technical support, they work for us. They're Kippelman and old Jay Sharknado and so many more. They're highly paid, highly trained stooges. They're very
No, they're not stooges in any way. Why would you say
they
that?
Are,
Why would you say that?
They do as we direct. Now, they're not just run-of-the-mill stooges. They're not the Three Stooges. They're highly paid, highly trained, highly sought-after stooges.
Plus, you just
for
named
their
two of them.
stooge work.
So it can't be well, you named two.
1 weak link that we had come to rely on because we had no reason for quite some time to rely on him. Alleged weasel, since this is going to court. There was running Kast Media, who was selling our advertising to the fine advertisers. Rely on him. Alleged weasel, since this is going to court. There was running Kast Media, who was selling our advertising to the fine advertisers that advertise on our program's advertising. But as to paraphrase Jerry Seinfeld, it's not the selling of the advertising, it's the paying for the advertising. And suddenly, there was no paying for our advertising, not from our fine sponsors, who have been upset as we were about this disruption of service. They paid him, and he didn't pay us. Have I summed that up correctly, Brian?
You have summed it up. There's a lot of detail, and we should note, we're not unique in this situation. There are other shows, pretty much all the shows under the umbrella of Kast Media. Now, again, we were an outside production. We were just using them for advertising support. There are other shows that are in the unfortunate position of being Kast Productions, or may not have a big audience and may not know what to do. So we're in a better position than most, but this happened to many.
Yes.
So as you guys can hear that, so they're paying to get their ads up, right, to be seen, and also to get paid by the people that interact with the ads, and they should be getting back some money for the ads. And what Jim says is that the big corporate heads are keeping the money and not giving it back, and also the advertisers are pissed off as well as Jim and his co-host here for not getting paid what they're owed. And then, for them, as Jim said, he's lucky that they're not part of Kast Media and other podcasts are. So that's what he kind of feels guilty about for suing them, because, they are going to probably feel the blowback of this lawsuit, and, and they're also going to lose money as well, as we kind of seen it from, Thick Boy or the Thick Boy Productions. They're not paying some of their employees, and it seems to be because podcasting has really gone down in value since the pandemic really got everybody just to stay home and watch a whole lot of content, which might have gave them an illusion that they're actually doing way better than they're actually supposed to, because everybody's at home and everybody's just watching way more of it. And, they thought, though, okay, well, we have all this money now. I'm talking about, Kast Media. They got all this money now, and they're going to invest in other podcasts. They're going to buy other podcasts. But it seems like they overshot their expectations, and now they have all these podcasts they have bought, and now they can't, pay back or like there's some sort of thing going on that the people are keeping the money. Who knows what's really going on internally, but it's kind of it's kind of a bad thing for anybody that's under Kast Media and is and their podcast is part of Kast Media, which is dicey, right? I think I'll end this right here, guys, because you guys can just listen to yourself, because this is a whole hour of them talking about Kast Media. So it seems like BGL was right that he did put that lawsuit in there. Says that not getting paid for all those things. So it seems like BGL was employed in all of Brendan's projects: Tiger Thick, LLC, Thick Boy Productions, and Thick Boy Studios. He worked on all of these. Different sectors in Brendan's YouTube and whiskey. So I can see why he was owed $16K, right? And it seems like Brendan doesn't have a punch in, punch out machine. So how are they gonna resolve this issue is gonna be interesting to hear in the future. All right, guys, I'll end this here. Let me know what you guys thought of this, and I'll see you guys next time. Laters.